Okay, so let me welcome on behalf of whole CULTSSB and family and all the students out here. Heartiest welcome, Sub Lieutenant Aditya, on behalf of whole team. I can see the dress, the charm, the uniform. Photo में भी दिख रहा है और आपके इसमें भी दिख रहा है. So let me introduce a bit about Mr. Aditya. So he has given 11 SSBs, 6 conference out. I would say 6 conference out, 4 screen outs, and 1 recommendation. As well as he has given back-to-back SSBs for SSC Tech, non-tech also if I'm not wrong, and as well as AFCAT, and finally he made it through SSC NAIC entry, that is a SSC Navy entry जो काफ़ी लोग जाना चाह रहे Navy के लिए और काफ़ी लोग यहाँ प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं Navy entries के लिए कि क्या होगा कैसे होगा. So he was there and he made it. He recently got commissioned recently from Indian Naval Academy Adhimala. And he will be there in the service also. आपके सीनियर ही बनेंगे. He's a commissioned officer, ऐसे नहीं रिटायर्ड हो गए. Just fresh कमीशन देख सकते हो, चाम जोश सब हैं और अभी अपने थोड़े एंजॉयमेंट फेज में हैं. काफ़ी घूम फिर के आए हैं पूरे इंडिया टूर करके. So heartiest welcome Aditya on behalf of whole team.
Hi, hello everyone. Hello Pallab, nice to see you again. Thank you so much. It was a very good intro and a very apt intro as well.
चलो ग्रेट यार ग्रेट. तो हम थोड़ा शुरू करते हैं यार, है ना. उसके बाद हम बहुत कुछ समझेंगे आपके इसके बारे में और है ना डाउट्स भी लेंगे. सो यार आदित्य बताइए यार, दिस लॉन्ग जर्नी है ना. पहले तो यार SSB से हम स्टार्ट करेंगे. ये लॉन्ग जर्नी यार, पीपल गिव अप. सो हाउ डिड यू मोटिवेटेड योरसेल्फ एंड यू कम. हाँ, लेट मी टेल वन मोर थिंग. ही कम्स फ्रॉम अ सिविलियन बैकग्राउंड इन टर्म्स ऑफ कि इनके फादर सर्विस में नहीं थे बट इनके ग्रैंडफादर सर्विस में थे. सो डिस्पाइट दैट जोश झील बताइए थोड़ा कि कैसे कंटिन्यूम रखा आपने.
In simple words, I mean, when you really want to join the armed forces and when you get that feeling from inside you that yes, this is the way of life that I want to live, and then in that case I don't think any number of attempts can stop you, because I had made it very clear that I want to join the armed forces. My motivation came from many reasons. I've done NCC, so I used to interact with a lot of officers there, and the only thing I used to see that an officer always stands out of the crowd. So all I wanted was I also want to be such a person. And then when I found out this is the process, which took me a long, it was a long process, but yeah, it was worth it at the end. Every SSB teaches you something, and you're not losing in any SSB. Every SSB you go, you make a new friend. And I met Pallav like that, and it's a great asset for me. So every SSB teaches you something, and that is how you just keep going. And at the same time, you should always have a backup. You shouldn't josh mein hosh nahi khona hai. So you are determined, yes, but at the same time, you have to take care of yourself. You have to take care of your family. And I was working in Infosys for 2 years while I was giving my SSBs. So in one way, I can say it was funding my air tickets to all different locations and centers. And then I kept going, and one day it happened.
करेक्ट. सो यार थोड़ा अपने इस कॉर्पोरेट और SSB की प्रिपरेशन बताइए. लाइक हाउ एग्जैक्टली यू मैनेज दिस प्रिपरेशन, बिकॉज मेनी पीपल आउट हियर दे फील यार टाइम की कमी है ना. हम ऑफिस से घर आते आते ही पूरा दिन चले जाता है, फिर फैमिली का अलग काम एंड दुनिया भर के पर्सनल प्रोफेशनल चोर्स. सो हाउ डिड यू मैनेज योरसेल्फ ड्यूरिंग दोज मोमेंट ऑफ टाइम्स.
Yeah, in this aspect, you have to be a little smart. Now, if you see, even during office hours, it is very normal for someone to take short breaks. We use Instagram or we use social media even while working also, and unless we are in some client meeting or something. So during that time, it's basically what you feed into your phone. You start following, you start liking. Basically, you have to change the algorithm of your phone firstly. Start liking things that are like GK related. So wherever I scroll, I just see. मेरे को बस ये दिखता था कि जीके का क्या चल रहा है, देश में क्या चल रहा है. whatever little way I could help boost my preparation. And apart from that, the nights are yours. No one's bothering you at that time. So burn the midnight oil.
So
And go.
basically playing smart and basically utilizing your time. नाइट इज योर्स, ये काफी अच्छा लाइन है बिकॉज एकेडमी में भी नाइट इज योर्स करके सभी
Academy
लोग
never
लेते हैं.
Yeah.
चलो ग्रेट. So yeah, Aditya, we will move on to some attempts of yours. So you have seen conference out, screen outs. So tell us like there are people who feel yeah screen out हो गए and फिर क्या होगा कैसे होगा. So you yourself maintain in that zone after a long streak of screen out. मुझे जहाँ तक आपने बताया था last time. So how did you manage to cope up to get screened in? थोड़ा सा हम आएंगे और फिर even we'll come to academy also. So tell us कि screening के लिए आपने अपने level में क्या किया, and
Yes.
Someone who is going for graduate entries, direct entries, particularly SSC Tech and बाकी जो भी entries हैं.
One thing, there are a few points which are, I mean, these were kind of secret to me till now, but since I'm an officer now, I can share that with you. It will definitely be helpful. So, in especially the group discussion, which is the main part. First of all, your story, obviously, it is important, and how you have lived your life is how you're going to write your stories. If you are a good person, then naturally your stories will come out good. For example, let's say there's a picture of a mountain, or let's say a trekking scene. So, I mean, I myself I love trekking, and there's a very famous small little hill near, it's about 40 minutes drive from my home, which is called Kunthi Betta or Kunthi Hills. So it has a very historic significance as well. So I really enjoyed. I went there almost every weekend. It was my place of peace. I actually used to go and introspect myself there also, like that kind of a place. So because of the love for that place, I used to often go and clean it. I mean, basically cleaning a hill. I used to pick up a lot of trash while coming back down. I used to always carry trash bags. Then later I went ahead, and my friends used to join along with me. We used to collect more and more trash. So that thing itself is embedded in me, that if I see such a picture, I will write such a story, and which is a very good story, which has been told by others as well. And this story, in fact, I have written in my my attempt that I got recommended in as well. So that is just one small part about it. That is like the ignition that gives you the boost. Now you come to the group discussion. You have to mainly understand the whole idea of why the group discussion is conducted. You are not expected to just speak. You are expected to get an outcome. That should be your only motivation. Whether it is coming from someone else's idea or not, your job is to direct your group, to take your group along with you into that direction. That is all. Whether your story is being accepted or not, that is another thing. So there's always a flow in which people speak. They go high and then they're coming on their lows. You have to catch them when they're going down. And everyone has that one point. You should just be smart enough to grasp that. That is when you can cut them off or add your points, etc. And another thing is, when anyone else is narrating their story, pay close attention. Look into their eyes and keep nodding, keep acknowledging, because that makes them feel very important. They will subconsciously think that you are their friend, that you are with me. These are small tricks that help me. So even after the group discussion is over, when the discussion is going on, they will still look back at you. They will still address you. And the psychologist is very smart enough. They will definitely notice that. So you have to look at everyone and treat them with respect there. Then that will come back. And that is what takes the group ahead.
Correct. So very nicely told secret. And I hope सारे candidates ने note down कर लिया होगा, because सीक्रेट यहाँ पे जो भी बताया जा रहा है, बिकॉज ये काफ़ी हद तक इम्प्लीमेंटेबल है और इन्होंने किया भी. हैव सीन पर्सनली, हैव सीन हिम इन जीडी प्रॉपर्ली डूइंग एक्टिविटीज़, दो वी वर नॉट टुगेदर इन द स्क्रीनिंग अटेम्प्ट टुगेदर, और बहुत सारे मोमेंट्स हैं जो हम आगे हम डिस्कस करेंगे. सो यार आदित्य, मूविंग ऑन टू द फेज 2 पोर्शन ऑफ योर SSB प्रिपरेशन. सो हाउ डिड यू प्रिपेयर योरसेल्फ फॉर द साइकोलॉजिकल टेस्ट, पर्टिकुलरली TAT, VAT, SRTs, SD, एवरीथिंग, and give us some 4 to 5 key points which generally candidates should take care while preparing all those things. क्योंकि लोग सोचते हैं बहुत ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिस करेंगे और हम हो जाएंगे, है ना, और या फिर लोग सोचते हैं कि है ना हम क्या करेंगे, कहीं से कुछ अच्छे स्टोरीज कॉपी पेस्ट कर लेंगे और हम हो जाएंगे. सो व्हाट वाज योर थिंग ऑन ऑल दोस एरियाज?
Yeah, for me, the psychology test is actually my favorite part, because that is the beauty, that is you. That is the time when what you really are comes out. So the crack for that is basically living such a lifestyle, like living like how an officer should live. When you start living that life, example, now let's say if I am overweight, which I was, I start living in such a way that I am going to start running continuously. And let's say I've written in my the PIQ that I am a reader, but I haven't read a single book. So I have to make whatever things I've written there, I have to live that life. If I am living that life, stories will come out like that, based on my past experiences on whatever I have done. And preparation, as in, like you say, many people keep writing stories, and they do a lot of practice. So I personally believe that helps in your speed of writing. But what is in your mind, it definitely comes also, because looking at other stories also helps to some extent, where you can relate to your own life. You will find such stories that acha हाँ ये भी तो हुआ था मेरी life में. It gives you a flashback, and you will not forget that story, that picture. You will write that story and come. And it helped because I took some guidance from CULTSSB as well. I used to follow on the Telegram channel, and that is when I went through a few stories, and I got a lot of idea from that as well. That this also can be written. This was something that I have lived as well, because when the interviewer is going to ask you something, and if it matches your story, then you're telling the truth, which you should, obviously, because you are supposed to be living a life like that. It's SSB is like what you have lived through your childhood. If you're able to portray it correctly, it's not only that you're portraying your good stuff. Even you have negatives. Even those are to be portrayed, so that you are trainable. So basically, that is all for psychological test. Is that what are you writing in your PIQ? You should be able to present that in a very believable way. Some people are very good at bluffing as well. They bluff their way through SSBs, and they sometimes make it, but you'll never be a good officer. The aim is not to just clear SSB, the aim is to be a good officer. So I'm telling something that may help you in the long run as well.
Correct, very rightly said. So Aditya, give us some 5 points जो आपको लगे कि which will definitely work. They can take a note of it as well, and it also looks catchy when they prepare कि हाँ मेरे SSB से 5 एक रात पहले मैंने वो चीज़ देख लिया, जैसे होता है ना साइक से पहले हमने भी कवर थिंग्स कि हाँ एक बार रिवाइज कर लेता. So what will be those 5 points which you also carried forward throughout your SSB preparation?
I can't give you 5 points, but I can just give a general idea that the day before your psych, I'd suggest don't go and sit with any group who's discussing psych. First of all, keep your mind very calm. One thing, in this the SSR itself told us that don't talk amongst yourself while you're in the psych hall. Just be with yourself. Just be in that moment. That moment that you have the lights going on and off, it's like a movie actually. Like if you pay close attention, it's it's like a magical experience. Like you have gone deep within yourself. So at that time, you are not supposed to disturb that. I feel that is one very important point. As soon as some test gets over, you will turn back what mein iske liye kya likha hai, uske liye kya likha. Then everyone goes outside for their small toilet break. उसमें भी मैंने तो इस story का ये बनाया, मैंने ये बनाया. You are not assessors. Leave that job to them. You just be at your peace. I used to not even go for the toilet break. I used to just be there. I used to drink less water and go, but I used to just be there sitting in that same spot and just be in your peace, be in your calm. That is when you are true. You'll be at your best, and you'll give the best psych that you have given. And your speed of writing, that is up to your practice.
Correct. Very, very aptly told about this aspect that कि साइक में आपको ज़्यादा इधर उधर बात नहीं करना है ना. बेसिकली व्हाट यू आर जस्ट portraying the same, and more importantly because if you speak with someone else outside, then you come at that pressure कि यार उसने अच्छा लिखा, उसने ये लिखा, मैंने तो कुछ भी नहीं लिखा. And it has happened है ना. मुझे अभी भी याद है when we were together in SSB also, है ना, people used to discuss all repeaters है ना, stuffs, pressure stuffs, यार उसमें तूने ये क्या लिखा, यार ये भाड़ में दुनिया, क्या करना है, क्या ही हो जाएगा इससे. Let the SSC do the thing.
With your Pallab sir, because Pallab sir is mastered SSB, so everyone wants opinion of Pallab sir कि आपने क्या लिखा. But I'm pretty sure if I ask you the same question today, you will also have written. Every psych has been different for you because of your mindset at that time. And this picture that you have showed, it also reminds me of my course mate Siddharth. Recommended with.
Okay, first of all, let me add. He is also one of our student. मैंने बताया ना 2 लोग साथ में हुए थे, तो एक आदित्य थे और ये थे. तो we are like course mate type. हाँ बताइए.
So we were with Cult together. We were with screening together. He was sitting right next to me. We were in the same room in SSB. We were in the same branch. We got in through the same entry. Only our squadrons were different. And yeah, even his psych didn't go that well. He couldn't complete his psych. But psych is all about quality and not quantity, I believe.
I still remember, है ना, he came up, भाई ये गलत हो गया, वो सही हो गया, ये सही हो गया, मैंने
Exactly.
है ना, वो पूरा रात, है ना सर, भाई मेरा नहीं होने वाला, अगले टाइम की तैयारी कर रहे हैं, है ना, तो वो तो we will come up to that last experience of this thing. So moving forward, so यार like आदित्य, I can remember, आपको ही पता है और आपने भी काफ़ी अच्छे से इस पर वर्क किया है. So for the friends who have got no idea, Aditya was little overweight during his SSB thing, and but the best part of all is he reduced around how many kgs? 17.
25 overall.
25
kg.
Okay, he reduced
Total.
25 kgs, है ना.
Yeah.
And I still remember जब GTO में we were together in the group, तो lot of things है ना, we were pushing each other, we were pulling each other. So tell us about GTO whole thing, like how did you approach for GD, GP, and आज का आपके आने से पहले we were discussing lecturate also. So what was your approach? Also about the structures. ठीक है, this session won't be uploaded in YouTube. ठीक है, तो we on live. तो बताइए. So how was your overall approach of GTO, and how did you prepare for each and every minutest thing? And also tell us that GOR wala things.
Yes, indeed. And yeah, I think GTO was really good, and our GTO was also a gem of a person. So our GTO was very brutal. He's like a coconut, hard on the outside, but inside. Later, I got to know about him. He was a really good person when we got to meet him in person. So yeah, GTO's preparation is basically you have to be there in that moment in GTO. That is all. The most important point in GTO for me is that you have to understand why is this task being conducted for me? Why? What are they expecting out of me? For example, you are doing a PGD. So during that time, you have to understand ki, what is the main objective of this PGD. Main objective is just to complete the task. That is all. They are not asking who is giving more ideas or who is giving less ideas. They are not seeing that. If you are giving it, well and good. If you are getting ideas, give it. But it's not that you are going to fight your way through that. Your main objective is मैं कुछ भी करूं, whether I should be helpful to my team, whatever I do, whether I'm giving ideas, whether I'm carrying the load, whether I'm tying knots, whatever. I should be helpful to the team and I should contribute to finishing this task on time. That is all. If you keep that in your mind throughout GTO, your GTO will go great. And you will not even stress about it later, which will, impact your other tests as well. And basically, that is the only preparation you need for GTO. And being physically fit. I mean, that is something I learned the hard way, which I'd suggest you all not to. If you are lightweight, you are agile, you are less of a burden on your course mates or on your, fellow cadets or candidates. So, pulling, when they pull you up, it will be a little easier for them. So that is again a help to your own, friends. Being physically fit is very important. You have to do your exercises regularly, control your eating and all. Basically, your stamina also plays a very important role. It boosts your confidence as well. Once you start losing weight, your mind goes into a very positive way, and you do not waste time in other things that you can actually dedicate towards fitness. So that is another preparation. Coming to the our snake race. So during our snake race, it was a fun one. So it started raining that time, and the whole GTO ground was covered in mush. So the entire, it was like we are all wearing whites, and then it's like the Tide advertisement. The kid goes and plays in the mud or फिर brown हो जाता है. तो वैसा ही हुआ था almost. But during that time, one thing I remembered that I was screaming at the top of my voice. Like people were trying to avoid the puddles, during the snake race also. So, just shout out, क्या हो जाएगा? एक ही बार तो करना है, कर लो अच्छे से, shouting that, giving josh to our postmates. Literally everyone, all of us, we just went straight towards the puddles. Like we didn't care about anything else. We just, splashed everywhere. बगल की टीम तक भी पानी जा रहा था. पूरा पच करते करते हम निकल लिए. मतलब that josh that was there in our team, especially because everyone got recommended from our group only. Whoever got recommended, half the group got recommended. So that itself shows, that the josh is very important in that. And then you have to keep your energy levels high from the start to the finish. That is a very important thing in snake race. And your physical fitness helps at that time as well. Those are the things. Apart from that, those obstacles that are there, as far as I remember, not, I don't remember, it's been a while since I gave SSB. I think that you all are very much aware of practically and practically. So
Definitely.
I'll not cover on that part.
No worries. So very nicely covered about whole GTO. That being in the moment is what makes you, what creates the difference, because people feel that we are हमें आगे क्या होगा, but you have to just perform well in your whatever task is coming up, like GD, GP या PGT हो या जो भी हो. And the way he told है ना, जोश रहना चाहिए, because आपको बस एक ही जगह तो दिखाना है, वहाँ पे दिखाओ और बाकी जगह आराम से रहो, मजे करो, है ना, हंसते खेलते रहो.
And there's one more point I'd like to add. So over my number of SSVs that I've given, I've always seen one thing. The GTO always will try to make all the groups cross at the same time. They will either make you stop somewhere, they'll give you time penalty or whatever. They will always try to make it a very neck to neck competition. They'll slow down one group or they'll, make one group go faster. So there's nothing like if you win that you will get recommended. It is like even if you're losing and you're still not giving up, that is the group that gets recommended.
Basically, you need not give up at any moment of time. बोलते ना break नहीं होना है, because even है ना, we will come to the academy also, academy training की give up नहीं होना है, otherwise many people will break and then they will come up. चलो, so moving forward here, so how was this मतलब this conversion of weight? Tell us this journey of है ना, this drastic reduce, क्योंकि let me tell you, for those who are not aware of medicals thing, you get this as soon as you get recommended, you have to complete your medicals. So Aditya was one among us who did कि मैं तुरंत medicals कराऊंगा, मैं weight नहीं करने वाला, गए भाड़ में, overweight ही तो मिलेगा. And उसके अलावा he also got some other thing, but anyhow he cleared it. फिर उसके बाद he also cleared it in 42 days के बाद भी थोड़ा रह गया. So tell us how was this drastic change and what all things you did, because many people might be thinking कि मेरा overweight है, तो how should I do it?
Yeah, as far as overweight, first it's how it starts. There are life cycle of a obese person. So it starts with, while I was giving SSB, my first SSB, I was fine. Later on, after rejection, then when you start looking at other options in life, like doing a private job, etc. So when you're sitting in front of the computer for 8 hours, 12 hours, so that is naturally something that will, is bound to make you fat. Stress eating is another big factor. Everyone copes up with stress differently. So I cope up with stress by eating more food. So I gained a lot, and I touched around 92 kilograms. So, and there was one, it was my last attempt for Kolkata, and I was not very confident on that. My preparation wise, I was good, as in whatever, mentally I was ready to give that SSB. But I was like, ठीक है, देखते हैं क्या होता है, let's see what happens. That kind of a mindset, because as a repeater over time, it becomes like that. So I went before going to SSB, I had 20 days left. So that is when on Instagram, like I had fed my algorithm, David Goggins started popping up again and again and again. So I changed my, alarm to his voice. So I used to wake up in 1 second. And him not giving up at all, like his story, it inspired me a lot. And after I read his book, that like I couldn't sleep that night, that what am I doing? So next day morning it was raining, and I decided that whatever happens, I'm going to do some sort of workout. It was raining in the morning, but I'm going to go anyways. I wore my rain jacket, and I was stepping out. My mother stopped me. कि पागल है क्या? बारिश में क्यों जा रहा है? So this is all I told me. आप नहीं समझोगे, and I just went out. I did cycling and I felt great that day. And after that, I just continued, all my workout, whatever pain was there at night, I used to deal with it, doing hot and cold showers and whatever is required. So I was able to lose 10 kgs before going to SSB. So I decided that even if I don't get recommended, even if I don't get selected, whatever happens, I'm not going to go back to my fat self. I'm going to get better for myself, because I wanted to always look, smart in formals. So that was my small goal. I have to look smart in formals at least. After I got recommended, that gave me next level boost. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life, and now it has come. So now I cannot let it slip. But I was 15 kgs overweight still. I thought I've lost 10, so I'll be fine. But then they told me I'm 15 kgs overweight, and then I have 42 days to reduce it. So to do that, you have to take some drastic. You have to be a little pagal, to get that if you really want it that bad. I consulted a dietitian. Obviously, I did not want my blood parameters to fluctuate. So I contacted a dietitian, and then they gave me a proper diet chart most of it was liquid diet only. So I followed that strictly, and then I was able to lose that weight in 35 days. I still had 1 week extra. I went a week earlier to my AMB. So there, another the fatty liver issue came up again, but that was cleared in RMB. So that is how my journey was. Basically, three basic things. If you are not able to run, cycle and do swimming. Swimming will help you again in academy also. So swimming burns a lot of calories. Do swimming, do cycling, reduce your initial weight, because if you are overweight and if you start running immediately, you will get injuries. So first you start cycling, reduce that initial weight, that burden that is there on your knees and joints. Once that is done, then you can start running. Once you start running, you will love running. मतलब पल्लव सर को देख लो.
We will come to that part. And rightly said that the power of basically the resilience which you have showed, the back-to-back things ki पहली SSB से पहले you thought that कि नहीं मुझे weight कम करना, and then slowly you reduced not only that 25 kg but उसके बाद academy जाने के बाद और कितने kgs कम हुए आपके?
I lost another 5 kgs in academy as well.
मतलब घुमा फिरा के आपको खींचे जा रहा था. They were coming in shape. वो मुझे आता है ना motivation की when you craft your body ऐसे करके proper hammer के साथ. So in that
Yes, exactly.
you created. So you can see Aditya on picture and now on screen. There's a very drastic changes. So Aditya, we will move forward.
And if you happen to be in Cheetah Squadron, then you can get even muscular also, because we do a lot of rowing and pulling practice, a lot. So that will gain your you get good muscles also, which I am right now.
Packs आ गए हैं है ना आदित्य को, और proper he is now Cheetah Cobras है ना, सब बन गई है ना. चलो, so we will move forward little bit, and also we will have to know a lot about your academy life as well. So यार थोड़ा बताइए अपने interview preparation के बारे में, and tell us some tricky questions which you came up, because now you have given a back-to-back SSBs, and the area काफ़ी लोगों को एक queries रहता है कि सर हमने CDS कभी निकाला नहीं है या हमसे ज़्यादा FCAT clear नहीं हुआ है. So how did you approach those questions in your preparation time, and also tell us like the overall preparation which you particularly worked on.
As far as your written exams are concerned, I mean, not clearing a written exam is not seen negatively in this. I have observed it's not seen negatively in the interview process. But for example, if you have given a break in the interview process itself, that you didn't give any SSBs during this much time, in this year you did not give any SSBs, so that gives a little bad impression ki why did he stop working out, or why did he stop preparing for SSB, etc. So I was very honest with I could not clear my written exams, simple. And also because I had a justification because of my job. I mean, even though you can say that, like I said, the nights are yours, but in today's competitive world you need a lot more than that to clear even CDS and AFCAT exam, I believe. So that I tell you very honestly that I did not clear my written exams, and I was giving whatever attempts was coming towards me, I was giving it, because my aim was not to join Army, Air Force or Navy. I just wanted to be an officer, like I told you. So I was very clear with that. Even that was one question that they ask very easily, ki why Navy? Most of them, they end up telling ki I want to serve the nation with pride and honor. Okay, yeah, that might be a reason. Or I'm very keen on ships and all. अचानक से answer बदल जाता है. But no, you have to be very honest. And I was very honest ki sir, it was not Navy. It was never about Navy. It was about armed forces. So I literally told this, and I'm not kidding, that whoever takes me first, I'm theirs. ऐसे करके मैं बोल दिया था. Yeah, I am to that organization. Whoever takes me in first, I just want to be in first. That's all.
So this is how you approached.
Yeah.
Great. So is there any tricky questions which came up in your interview, in your last recommendation attempt, which you felt कि यार ये बढ़िया question था, है ना? तो
Yes, I did. It was more of a situation reaction type, and they asked me something about which is the most shocking incident of your life or something like that. Yeah, that was the question. And I was once मैंने गाड़ी ठोक दी थी, so that became like some two-wheeler was involved in that, and that person got injured, and it was his fault that he was jumping the signal, so I couldn't do much about it. But then he came into such a situation that he came to my family background. Then he saw my father's job role, And overall, my family, we are blessed. We are well off. We don't have any much problems financially. So he came to that point ki, okay, let's assume that they want to put a case. So, and then they are just asking only 1 lakh rupees. वहीं का वहीं मैटर खत्म कर देंगे. तो मैंने बोला so I'll fight the case. I know I'm not wrong. There's on the signal there is a CCTV camera. थोड़ा सा भी स्मार्ट भी होना पड़ता है. सिग्नल है तो CCTV कैमरा है. Just assume that you're in a good city. That's it. ठीक है. I told there's a CCTV camera. I know I'm not wrong. That person jumped the signal. I'll fight the case. I'll not pay. He's like, okay. He came down. He pestered me on that for 15 minutes. He came down. Okay, last just 5,000 rupees. They are just asking 5,000 rupees. They leave it. I told him, 5,000 is a huge amount. Like for my salary, if that time I was earning like 30,000 a month or something. I told him 5,000 is a big amount for me. Big amount. So I'm not going to give anything. I'll fight the case. So then that is what you have to stick to it. You have to be stern. They will try to loosen you a bit, but you have to be stern on what you believe. And that this event actually happened. The case of bribery and all was not there. Obviously, that family was good. They accepted their mistake. We paid their hospital bills and all. It ended there. But even you have to think in such a situation, what is he expecting? Is he trying to break you? He's trying to nag you somewhere. The moment the interviewer goes more than 2 minutes on one topic, then you know that you have to start playing. You have to start thinking behind key. Okay, what can this lead to? What can that lead to? And another secret of mine, which in my Kolkata SSB was, you can actually lead your interviewer to asking what you want to answer to some extent, and that worked for me. So, for example, they said about okay, to tell me about your hobbies. So I answered in such a way, sir, my hobbies include cooking, traveling, cycling, and one hobby that I've recently picked up is reading. So I have put this one hobby that I've recently picked up in reading separately. He will definitely ask about reading, which has happened a lot. So he'll come to reading. Okay, what book have you read recently? Where I brought David Goggins into my life. Why did I bring him? Is because I want to, show that I have taken inspiration from him and I have lost whatever weight I want to lose, etc. So again, he's like, okay, why David Goggins? Tell me about David Goggins. And I know about him. I answered. Then what have we learned about him? I answered. Then I told that I've lost 10 kgs and I've come here. So like you are only adding points to yourself. That is one way of tackling that. Which was another, not a trick question exactly, but you can expand that question and you can make it flow in your way.
Correct. So basically, even ये जो अभी आदित्य जी ने बताया regarding कि having basically you should know the steps, like those step आगे का whatever the interviewing officer is asking. So this is, we also discuss the same as hook like strategy. Basically you have to create hooks कि जहाँ पे वो अटकेगा वहीं पे question आएगा. So the same way like Aditya told कि last में अलग से mention किया regarding that like reading books, that has created an impression that yes, okay, हमें यहाँ पे पूछा जाने की संभावना है. So in that way he's driving the thing. Basically the ball should be in your court rather than being in his court and बस वो कहीं पे भी shoot out कर रहा है. Okay.
And one more thing is, you do not necessarily need to answer everything. If that is a myth, you don't need to answer everything. Now they'll say, who do you like more, your mother or your father? So I like both. नहीं, tell one. No, I like both. Tell one. No, I like both. बोलना ही नहीं है. You don't need to answer everything. He does not want answers. They do not want answers.
I can recollect my good old days of interview. Chalo, great. So okay, we will come directly dive into this picture. है ना, finally we made it, and है ना, काफी लोग दिख रहे हैं इसमें, and lot of good people were there. I still remember, and even Aditya might definitely remember all those people. काफी लोग से तो अभी भी बात होती है. And, so tell us, like, how was that result moment after back-to-back conference out, screen out? Finally you made it. I remember that you cried, and है ना, मैं सोच रहा था यार चलो हो गया वापस. Some people cried. So tell us that moment of finally #recommendation.
Yeah, so that moment was special. Everything more memorable than that moment was what we were doing before. When one person was walking in after the conference, and then it's everyone's happy to like क्या पूछा. It's like, you're preparing कि हाँ मेरे में भी यही पूछेगा. So we were doing, we were making a mockery out of it. We were having fun at that time also. And we were making plans of अब कहाँ जाएंगे, अब कौन से pub जाएंगे, etc. So then everyone was coming and asking that इसने तो मेरे से ये पूछा then we were making fun of them कि मैंने देखा है मेरे SSB करियर में अक्सर ऐसे ही लोग recommend होते हैं, ऐसे ही हर एक इंसान के साथ हमने मस्ती करी. When the results announced and actually my name was called, which was I was surprised, and I gave a good attempt for SSB. I not say it was a bad one, but I used to think so in previous attempts as well. But this one was, I don't know, I was like, did they really call my name? A little difficult to believe. Then after that, it just all flashbacks started coming, all the previous attempts, what and all struggles and everything. So I got a little emotional there, but my brothers were there for me. All of them, consoled me and all that. But it was tears of joy. It was a happy moment for all of us. Then I called my parents first and I informed them. And then after that, it was just, us and documentation.
Then the real different domain started. So
yes. And an update, I remember Abhijit Saha,
yes.
Again, our another cult buddy. He has also made it.
Let me tell you, he also made it, yes. है ना, बेसिकली इस पिक्चर में 4 लोग हुए रेकमेंड उस दिन, उसके 2 लोग और हो गए इसी पिक्चर में, है ना. वी विल नॉट डायरेक्टली से अभी उनके मेरिट और वो बची है, ठीक है. सो देयर आर मेनी पीपल हु मेड इट कॉन्सिक्यूटिवली एंड इट वाज रियली गुड ग्रुप, है ना. वी ऑल वर टुगेदर, वी वर 9 मेंबर्स एंड 4 उसमें से रेकमेंड हुए. उसके बाद कुछ दिनों के 2-3 लोग और हुए इसी ग्रुप से, तो आप समझ सकते हो कि दैट ग्रुप टेम्परामेंट वाज नेक्स्ट लेवल एंड एवरीबॉडी पार्टिसिपेटेड वेल, है ना. आई वाज आल्सो लाइक एस्टोनिश्ड कि इतने अच्छे लोग मिल रहे रिपीटर्स में, ये कौन से एसएसबी में आ गया मैं, है ना. जनरली रिपीटर्स इज दैट इन दैट जोन होता है कि हाँ हमें होना है रेकमेंड, बट यहाँ तक कि ठीक है जो होगा देखा जाएगा. सब अपने दुनिया में चल रहे हैं तो सबके साथ घुलना मिलना, दिस थिंग हैपेंड. ओके, सो वी विल नाउ डाइव मोर इनटू योर एकेडमी थिंग, है ना, एंड वी विल आल्सो टेक अप डाउट्स. तो यार टेल अस अबाउट योर एकेडमी लाइफ, बेसिकली दैट 44 वीक्स, that rough and tough journey, because you are in Cheetah Squadron. So let me tell all the audience, there are 6 squadrons in Indian Naval Academy. First is Achiever, second is Braveheart, third is Cheetah, fourth is Daredevil, then Eagle, then Fighter. So he was in such a squadron जो running के लिए काफ़ी ज़्यादा वैसे फेमस है, और बाकी भी स्क्वाड्रन से भागना होता है, बट जस्ट दैट जिसका जैसा नाम है उसकी वैसी पहचान है, ठीक है. तो वैसे ही आप लोग भी एनडीए के बारे में काफ़ी सुनते हो, आईएमए में भी बहुत सारे कंपनीज है, प्लेटून्स है, जो भी है. सो टेल अस अबाउट योर एकेडमी थिंग, हाउ वाज इट एंड हाउ वाज दैट एक्सपीरियंस?
Yeah, academy life, I mean, initially the first week when you go there, you don't know what is going on with you. It's like such a disoriented kind of a feeling there. मतलब literally your मतलब अभी I just did my struggle part of my dieting and all, and I just started eating ki then I was thrown into academy. So I'm like, okay, I didn't get that break of enjoyment, but it was totally fine, because and in academy the only thing is ki you'll feel like giving up a lot, and everyone cries in academy at least once, and at some point you do break down, but you never do it in front of anyone. That's another story. So but the most important thing in academy was that the camaraderie, like my course mates that were there, like you will be friends with them for life. They are like your brothers, like literally. And the main thing in academy, some people could not handle it, like many of them left. They could not take the training as well. But the only thing in academy is that you just keep your head strong, and whatever is there throwing at you, just understand that it's for some or the other reason, something you are being trained for. You will eventually realize it, okay, this is what happened. And once you have done that one term, if you have survived first term, then second term will be, a little easier for you. It's a little bit more psychotic because you have to take care of your juniors also. But overall, it's a very good experience. Towards the end, you will actually, I never thought I'd say this, but actually miss academy. Like we were all there, ki kab niklenge yahan se. But now we miss those academy days, all-nighters, reporting the entire night. A lot of things happen in academy. And it's mostly constructive, it builds you physically and mentally. After coming back from academy, big changes that you see, like you stop thinking, understand ke jo cheeze man mein chalti rehti hain, ki all those thoughts that are there, when you're free, all those things will suddenly stop. You're only productive. All you think about is ki what I can do next to be productive. I have already ran and done swimming today in the time that I used to sleep. But because academy makes you like that, you start living like a proper officer's lifestyle. And then once you slowly move towards the second term, then you get more mature, and it's a great experience. Like joining the academy will change you for life. And the only thing that you should remember, even if after you get recommended, is staying grounded. Because once you lose your, you know, your cool, or once you lose your that innocence that you had, you start getting egoistic. Then that is where the problem will start, and it will not only be that in academy, it will creep into your career as well. So most of them that I see, the people who get it easily often tend to get a little, egoistic. But it again depends on the person. So it's like whatever it is, whatever conditions you're thrown to, just be calm. Being calm helps a lot in academy, a lot. You can make your training half easy if you're just calm.
Definitely, as being humble will not only push you in the academy life but also throughout your life, because आप जो हो वही लोग को याद रहता है, rather than आप क्या कर रहे हो वो जो secondary. So यार, we will move little forward आपके academy life को लेकर ही. तो यार, tell us the most challenging portion of your whole academy tenure which you faced, and what all things you can take like tell us in front of all audience कि वो चीज़ों का ध्यान रखने से your SSB also will be help, like काफ़ी हद तक उसमें improvement हो सकता है.
Okay, for I'd say like SSB is a totally different kind of preparation. I mean, there is nothing in SSB preparation that might help you in academy except for the physical aspect. That is it. I mean, what you are in SSB at that time, you would have trained your mind in such a way. You would have probably done something to stay more calm and composed during your SSB attempts. That might help you in academy, and whatever you do physically helps in academy as well. The most challenging part in academy was in second term. You have something called camps. So camps is you would have seen it in the Nat Geo. They build rafts and then they go water crossing, all in camouflage uniform. It's called 4 days of hell. So basically, those 4 days you are just you are thrown into like a warlike situation. Everyone has like their 10 kilo ka backpack and a rifle, and in those 4 days we ran. I'm not going to say that numbers down. I don't want to scare you guys, but imagine a guy who was 92 kgs has done this in a motivating way, I'll say. We ran 80 kilometers in 4 days, and the total sleep that we got in 4 days was 6 hours. And to even believe that human body can do that, I could not believe that I did it. And I was the one who was, if someone was not able to carry their backpack because of, people get shoe bites and all. So someone was not able to carry the backpack. I was carrying 3 rifles, one on the shoulder, and one of my own rifle in my hand. And I ran the entire route with 3 rifles. So when I look back after completing camps, I was 92 kgs once, and then today I'm running camps like a pro. It was a really fun experience. And that camp experience, like at that time, feels like hell. Like you just want to go back to your squadron. But those 4 days in the jungle, they are like, you will never forget them. You will never forget them. That's the most challenging and the most fun part as well.
Correct. The camp days are very different, and let me tell you, Naval Academy is very, very big. It is Asia's biggest naval academy. 7 hills are there, right? If I'm not wrong. 7 पहाड़ों के साथ बना है और बहुत ज़्यादा ही बड़ा है. It has got its own beach, own sea, own exclusive economic zone ही है खुद का, और बहुत बहुत massively बड़ा है. आपको पूरा मतलब आधा फॉर द नेक्स्ट लाइक जैसे आप एंटर करते फॉर 10-15 डेज, तो ये पता नहीं चलता कहाँ क्या बिल्डिंग है, कहाँ जाना है. इतने सारे बिल्डिंग्स, नाम्स, रोड्स, यहाँ से भी एक ही रास्ता जाता है, एंड यू गेट कंफ्यूज्ड. सो द बेस्ट चैलेंजिंग पोर्शन एज टोल्ड कैंप. Really great, yeah, Aditya. So Aditya, we will ask some last question. There is a last question coming up from me. So यार, आपने अभी इतने सारे SSBs दिए. Now you are a commissioned officer, and now you are particularly in a Navy, and that too in NAIC branch. So tell us about this branch. ये exactly करती क्या है, और what is the role of this? And since आपने बाकी भी अपने आर्मी एयरफोर्स दिया है, so any particular advice for those SSBs? Since जहाँ पे आप नहीं हुए वहाँ पे भी कुछ गलतियाँ आपने अपने साइड से करी है. तो टेल अस दिस 2 क्वेश्चंस, क्योंकि काफ़ी लोग प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं नेवी एंट्रीज के लिए, SSC डायरेक्ट या CDS INA. सो NAIC इज अ ब्रांच जो बताएंगे अभी. आदित्य, प्लीज गो अहेड.
So NAIC is basically Naval Armament and Inspectorate Cadre. So this branch is it's a relatively newer branch in the Navy, and our main work is, if I say in very simple words, if I want to put it, on a warship, If you press the button, the missile should fire to ensure that we are there. So it's mainly about the missile technology, all the armaments that are on board of a ship, from taking care of them whether they are in working condition to even to research and development, because of all the indigenization that is happening these days. So basically, if let's say if you are going to Russia to buy a missile, so there will be mediators in the Navy who will be there between DRDO and whoever between the governments. So we also act as those mediators for which we be trained. And as far as the research and development part is, it's very technical work. It's basically understanding every nook and corner of what can go wrong and how you can make it right. Basically, you're an engineer again, and yeah, basically that is what naval armament and inspection gathering is about.
So also tell us about like some mistakes which generally candidates do in Army, Navy, Army, Air Force, जो आपने भी किया है, which candidates should particularly take a note of it, which you could have suggested.
Mistakes as in from in the SSB part. I think that is what I've mentioned earlier. Like if you see every single test, I can give from every test that the mistake that what I've learned coming from the first group discussion. First group discussion, it goes extreme cases with some people. Either they'll not speak at all, or they'll speak so much that they get annoying. So that is one. The second part is that next you come to the psychological test. Again, not being in the moment in the psychological test itself is a short failure, I feel. If you interact too much with people at that time and always you are asking what they have written, because it's not going to be helpful to you. You have lived a different lifestyle. That is another mistake they do in psych. In GTO, another mistake they do is some of them overpower the group. It's like they want to do everything. They want to hold the load also, and they want to tie a knot with one hand. This load, I'm holding a rope, whole load also, and I'm tying the rope also. Like that cannot be done. That is again one issue in GTO. Losing Josh in any part of GTO is again an offense. And when you come to other tests like interview basically you can get yourself trapped very easily. If you just speak the truth, it is very, very helpful in interview. Your interview is very easy actually if you speak the truth. And to be able to speak the truth, you have to live that kind of a lifestyle. To live that kind of a lifestyle, you should start working on it right now. Like even from tomorrow. Like if you say that I am a cyclist and you don't even cycle, tomorrow you can borrow your friend's cycle and start cycling. At least you will have a knowledge key. In this much time I can cover this much distance, because that is the next question they're going to ask me. Unless you have not lived that, you cannot really play smart with your questions in the interview. You can study GK a lot, but overall they are not actually seeing your GK. It's not, because that is something that anyone can learn. It's something more. It's a deeper meaning in SSB. After over the years that I've given SSB, that I found out. And then again, conference is basically your fate is sealed in conference, but getting nervous in conference is a very natural thing. But to a large extent, you can control that just by thinking ki whatever I have given, my test I have given it. Now whatever my fate is, I will this is what is going to happen now, and whatever they will ask me, I'll answer very honestly. Even if they ask you, are you nervous? Then some of them, no sir, I'm not nervous. It is conference is such a thing. It is meant to make you nervous. Even if you answer in that way, yes sir, naturally I am nervous because it's my conference and it is the day of the results. So I am nervous. It's a very normal human thing to be nervous. So some small things and some small mistakes that people make, that is what I feel.
So one last question, Aditya. Now since you also prepared, like back to back with your conference out and screen out, so in between even CULT also came up. So how was that feeling with the preparation of with CULT as well as आपने like जब हम स्टेशन में मिले है ना, जब हमने SSB देखा, यार ये कहाँ से आ गए. So how was that moment? थोड़ा सा इस पे भी highlight कीजिए, and then we will open the doubt session.
Yeah, so starting with CULT's preparation, like CULT is something that it makes a candidate's life very easy. Like it's basically you, all the time that you have invested, that I had invested before joining cult, searching here, searching there, getting this information, that it's all accumulated into one place. That is the best part about cult. That saves a lot of time. Time is what is the most important anywhere. So that, for that again, and the experience that cult brings in, it's a big deal. Like, to be able to bring so many people with so much experience into one place, I have not seen that. I have not seen that anywhere. That's why I found cult very different to, you know, any other coaching that I have heard from my friends from. I have not done multiple coachings and all. So that was something very different. Like, when I told my friends about that, ki this is what goes on here, that they were also kind of surprised. And then again, when we met there, it was like a small world moment, and kind of gave me confidence also. Ki, okay, we have someone here of good experience and caliber. But more than that, like what we expected, ki, you know, it'll be just Pallab sitting and explaining things to others and all, but it was totally different. Pallab, your Pallab sir is actually, you know, a completely different person in SSB. Like I told you, the way sir conditions his mind to and then goes to SSB, no, it's like a different person there. We were like very good friends there. We had a lot of enjoyment there. It was a really fun thing, and that helped somewhere to ease the situation, ease the tension in SSB, and maybe that might be another reason why we made it.
काफ़ी अच्छा लगा सुन के, great words, and more importantly it was one of my best attempt because I interacted with people whom I know previously, and he is one of our 45 people who got recommended so far from cult, and so far 122 people have made it. And आदित्य भी देखते हैं, एक ग्रुप बना है एलुमिनी का, जिसमें ही सीज लॉट ऑफ सक्सेस हैपनिंग्स, कोई कमीशन हो रहा है, कोई रेकमेंड हो रहा है, कोई अकेडमी जा रहा है. So again, heartiest congratulations on behalf of whole team for getting commissioned, and we wish that आप बहुत अच्छा करो आगे सर्विस में भी. You just nail it up, do great works for the country, Navy, and particularly for yourself as well as for the whole family. Inspire others. जैसे आप humble हो, जैसे आपने जिस तरीके से बताया secrets and other things, वैसे ही people को motivate करते रहो. So now we will take up some doubts from the candidates. काफ़ी लोग के काफ़ी सारे queries आ रहे थे. So now requesting all candidates या audience जितने भी हैं यहाँ बैठे हैं, कुछ पूछना है particularly regarding anything, raise your hand, introduce yourself, and please feel free to ask. Anyone.
And I have one small request. Those who are asking questions, you'll have to turn on your camera as well.
ये सही बात है एकदम. We are like worried कि हम लोग कैमरा ऑन नहीं करते, अकेडमी के रूल्स देने पड़ेंगे इन्हें, है ना. चलो हाँ जी यार, प्लीज टर्न ऑन योर कैमरा एंड कम अप विद योर डाउट.
तो इसकी वजह से क्वेश्चन शुड नॉट रिड्यूस ना, कि कैमरा ऑन करना पड़ जाएगा.
These days candidates are in that zone कि यार क्यों शक्ल दिखाना, फिर एसएसबी में भी ऑनलाइन वर्चुअल में जाएंगे. Go ahead यार.
I think only
go on sir.
अभिष्य चौहान, हाँ जी, go ahead यार, जय हिंद.
Sir, I'm appearing for NDA. I'm SSC on 3rd January at 33 SSB Bhopal for Indian Navy. So sir, now my entrance exam is 1 month for BTech, which is coming on 30th December. I'm preparing and managing my time, but I need some guidance on that. How should I manage more and how should I cope with all the SSB stuff and the semester stuff?
I could not get that question because it was very muffled. The audio.
Remove your headphones यार अभिषेक, उससे शायद दिक्कत आ रही है. So his question is more or less SSBs on, इसने ना कमेंट में भी मैसेज किया है.
Now I am audible.
हाँ, now you're audible. Go ahead यार.
Hello.
हाँ जी बताइए.
Okay. This is your question, the one that you have typed, right?
Yes sir. Same.
Okay. 3rd January. Okay. For ND entries, yeah, I'd suggest you that exams is starting on the 30th. So then during an SSB, you might have your exam if you get screened and etc.
No, sir, my exam has started and it will commence, means it will end on 30th December. Dynastically has written that.
Okay, commencement start. I mean, it will end on 30th December. Okay. Then if it's ending on 30th December, then 3rd Jan you have your, what is the problem? You can attend your SSB, right? So coping up with your SSB preparation is what you're asking, right?
Yes, sir.
See, I'll always say your first priority, you have to prioritize things very importantly. Like you cannot compromise your education on because of your SSB interview, because even that is something that you not looked upon properly. Like you cannot compromise your exams because that is your first priority. That is your base. That is the foundation. On the basis of my engineering marks, is that I have gotten. I had applied for Navy and then I got shortlisted. So if that itself is not proper, then there's no point of giving that interview. I may be preparing for SSB like anything, but if I'm not giving my main attention to my exams, they are always your first priority. Give your priority to your exams, study hard for your exams. There are last 2 days that you will have, you're traveling by train or whatever means, just look at, current affairs of what is going on in the country. That is all. And whatever I've told you during your psychological tests and your interviews and your GDs, just do that. That should be enough. You will give a good SSB.
Thank you, sir.
You can
Good
also
evening, sir.
join our batches as well. उसमें भी we are doing such thing. Don't worry. Many ND people are there. कि उन लोग का भी board exams है, pre board है and whatnot.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening and
Good evening.
go ahead.
Sir, actually, sir, I have a question related to my interview because I scored 90% in 10th class, but I scored 70% in 12th class, and I am not also from sport background. Sir, how should I tackle this question? They ask me generally why you are lacking in academics and also sports.
Okay, I mean, were you doing anything else apart from sports? Were you doing anything extracurricular, or was there some family problem or anything of that sort? I mean, what was the reason that you think that you got less marks in 12th?
So there were also some problems there, and somewhere I was also careless. That's all.
Okay, yeah, the careless part you don't need to mention there. But yeah, like if there were some family problems, then you can mention those things in a very generic way that made you, not being able to focus on certain things. Then
Sir,
later on, I mean, you are, what are you doing right now?
sir, I am in second
Education.
year of graduation.
And have you picked up your percentage there or not?
No, sir.
So, I mean, basically, you will have to, I think Pallab sir will answer this better because it's a situation that I have not gone through. I cannot relate to. But yeah, if there is some family issue that made you not concentrate on your studies, then that can be
What's
mentioned.
your question, Toma? बताइए.
Sir, I scored 90% in 10th class and I scored 70% in 12th class. And I have also not played any sports much and no achievements there. They generally ask me that why you were not good in academics and also in sports. There should be one at least.
ओके ऑलराइट सो बेसिकली यार आपने कुछ तो खेला है गली मोहल्ले में रीजन में कि हाँ मैंने क्रिकेट खेला है गली में ऐसा कुछ है
Yes, sir. In childhood, I play cricket and badminton there.
डू यू प्ले एनीथिंग नाउ मतलब आज से एक साल पहले या अभी इसी के बीच में एनीथिंग एनी स्टफ ऐसा
No,
कुछ
sir. I right now from last 1 year I am preparing just for NDA, and it was my last attempt. And my
बैडमिंटन नहीं
academics
खेलते
were very bad.
बैडमिंटन नहीं
Sorry.
खेलते गली मोहल्ले घर वाले दोस्तों के साथ कुछ भी नहीं
No, sir. I am out of station, sir. Right now. I am in Dehradun right now.
ओके ठीक है तो देखो इफ़ यू है ना आपका एसएसबी कब है
Sir, 9th January.
जनवरी ठीक है सो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज देयर आर टू थिंग्स व्हिच यू कैन डू नाउ फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल सी इफ़ यू हैव प्लेड समथिंग यू कैन फील दैट जैसे आदित्य ने भी अपने पूरे सेशन में बताया कि अगर आप अपने साइकिलिंग बता रहे हो तो थोड़ा बहुत एक आध बार करके आ जाओ ठीक है यू विल गेट अ फील ऑफ इट एंड इन द सेम वे फॉर एग्जांपल यूज्ड टू प्ले क्रिकेट फुटबॉल बास्केटबॉल कुछ भी थोड़ा बहुत भी खेला है टेक अ फील आउट ऑफ इट एंड जस्ट गेट टू नो कि क्या होता है क्या नहीं होता है ना जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर सेइंग यू लव टू प्ले बैडमिंटन या यू प्लेड बैडमिंटन बट यू आर नॉट प्लेइंग राइट नाउ इट्स स्टिल फाइन
Yes.
एंड इट्स ऑल अबाउट प्रोजेक्टिंग थिंग्स ठीक है आपने खेला है किसी ज़माने में बस आपने लिख दिया और थोड़ा बहुत रूल्स वगैरह पढ़ लिया बैडमिंटन के वगैरह सेकेंड चीज़ है, यू कैन जस्ट कोप अप बाय टेलिंग कि सर आई इन्वॉल्व माई सेल्फ इनटू, मान लो स्पोर्ट्स नहीं करते तो कुछ ना कुछ आप फिजिकल एक्टिविटी के लिए क्या करते हो, यू कैन से मैं रनिंग करता हूँ, रनिंग करते हो या वो भी छोड़
Yes,
देते
sir.
हो, करते
No,
हो
sir. Job. Yes, sir.
हाँ तो बताओ वो काफ़ी है, एटलीस्ट समथिंग और द अदर उसमें डालो, एथलेटिक्स, जॉगिंग, रनिंग, कुछ भी ठीक है, उसमें बताओ कि आपस में आप भागते हो, अपने आप को ही आप अपने खुद के कॉम्पिटिटर हो, ठीक है,
Yes, sir.
मतलब जस्ट दैट यू हैव टू रिप्रेजेंट योर सेल्फ, है ना। सी आपके पास अगर कुछ नहीं है तो आपको पता रहना चाहिए कि कैसे आप वेस्ट चीज़ से भी अच्छा चीज़ निकाल पा रहे हो, दैट इज़ व्हाट मैन एंड मटेरियल मैनेजमेंट इज, ठीक है, आउट ऑफ नोवेयर यू आर डूइंग, है ना, क्रिएटिंग रिसोर्सेज फॉर योर सेल्फ।
Another thing that you can do is, you are, like you said, you are not in your hometown.
Yes,
You
sir.
are somewhere outside. If you want to just live an experience, go outside, make new friends, play with them. बहुत बड़ा ही, that is a very different thing that you have done. Just mention that I was out. If you are outside your hometown and you made new friends, and then you're going and you know playing some sports with them, that also shows, ki shows a good quality, that you're able to make friends easily at least.
Yes, sir.
दिस विल
Sir,
बताओ।
sir, what type of words should not use while explaining this, like careless or any words?
क्यों, वाई टू मेक योर सेल्फ नेगेटिव, आप खुद सोचो, बोलो केयरलेस नहीं लो, ये सर दीज डेज आर नॉट प्लेइंग इट, बट सर जब भी मुझे मौका मिलता है, वेन एवर आई गेट टाइम आई डेफिनेटली प्ले इट एंड आई यूटिलाइज इट द बेस्ट पॉसिबल वे। सी नेवर मेक योर
Yes.
सेल्फ इन अ नेगेटिव वे कि हाँ मैं ही केयरलेस हूँ, मैं ही गया गुजरा हूँ, ऐसा क्यों बोलना, हो सकते हो रियलिटी में, बट बताने की जरूरत
Yes.
नहीं है, ठीक है, कि हाँ भाई मेरी लाइफ में दिक्कत है ना, लास्ट लोग ऑलवेज ग्रीन ऑन द अदर साइड, इसका मतलब ये नहीं कि
Yes.
आप गए गुजरे हो, ठीक है, तो
I have a small example for this, like with regard to my weight. Why did you increase your weight in the first place? So simple. My father is in the hotel industry. Like he did hotel management, and I told that I have have a lot of craze about food. And if you open my YouTube, it's only about food and vlogging. And I did not control on my eating. I was doing less exercise and more eating. That is why I gained weight. And my father cooks great food. ऐसे ही मतलब हंसी मजाक में मैंने निकाल दिया. But then I came back to कि I'm controlling on my quantity of food that I'm eating, and I'm running more, etc., etc. ऐसे
बेसिकली
सब
सोल्यूशन
कुछ
ओरिएंटेड देना।
Okay, sir. Sir, one more, sir. In my side problem, sir, I am not getting idea to write better story or putting more and more actions. Sir, what should I do?
आदित्य सर, गो अहेड, कुछ बोलना चाहते हो?
क्या ही बोलूं. It's like, because like I said again, you're not lived it to you're not lived those experiences to be able to write them. Na? That is what I'm telling you. You're not in your hometown. ठीक है. I understand you're preparing, but once in a while go outside for a walk, go meet new people, talk to new people. You will get to know that so many other people are doing so many more different things. उन्हीं के लाइफ स्टोरी से तुम स्टोरी निकाल सकते हो.
करेक्ट।
वही एक अच्छी स्टोरी बन जाती है.
बेसिकली देखो
ठीक
आपने क्या किया ना, एनडीए की प्रिपरेशन और एसएसबी की प्रिपरेशन को आपने एक जैसा समझ लिया, ऐसा नहीं है, आपको समझना है रिटर्न की प्रिपरेशन अलग होती है, उसमें आपको पैट की याद करना होता है, समझना होता है, एसएसबी में इज लाइक मोर और लेस नोइंग अबाउट योरसेल्फ, नोइंग अबाउट योर इन एंड अराउंड थिंग्स, इसलिए हम कहते हैं माइक्रो एक्शंस का मतलब ही क्या है, न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ो, पॉडकास्ट सुनो, गेट टू नो न्यू पीपल, नो अबाउट देयर लाइफ। आप एज एन इंजीनियर हो, मान लो मुझे लॉ के बारे में कुछ नहीं पता, तो आई शुड हैव अ फ्रेंड हु इज डूइंग एलएलबी, आई शुड हैव अ फ्रेंड हु इज डूइंग एमबीबीएस, इससे एक्सपोजर बढ़ता है, एंड यही सारी चीज़ें तो स्टोरी में आएंगे, एक्टिविटीज़। आर यू गेटिंग इट? आप कह रहे हो नहीं आता, नहीं आता तो आना है ना, सिंपल एज दैट, ठीक है। देखो यू डोंट नो देन यू हैव टू फाइंड इट आउट, दैट्स व्हाट फॉक्स आल्सो टीचर्स, सही बात है आदित्य सर, है ना, आपको नहीं आता तो आपको यू हैव टू फाइंड आउट एंड लेट यू नो, ये कह कर आगे बढ़ना है, तो इसका मतलब ही यही है कि एक थ्रेशोल्ड आएगा, एंड दैट्स द रीज़न आप ये जॉब को ईजी करने के लिए वी हैव गॉट बैचेस, है ना, यहाँ अजय भी है। अजय आप बताओ कैसा लगा आपको, आपने काफ़ी कुछ सीखा है।
Yes, sir. First of all, it was really a good session, sir. I learned many new things today, and especially thank you, Aditya, sir. After hearing you, I learned many new things that I must inculcate from you. And sir, I wanted to ask you one thing that, sir, मैंने भी वो You Can't Hurt Me book read किया है, sir. Sir, before preparation and after you have become an officer, sir, what kind of change you have seen in yourself, और वो mental barriers कैसे break करते हैं, sir? And what was your best day of the academic that I can say, मतलब you were about to give up, but you kept pushing. So that kind of thing, sir. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the first mental break that I got after reading David Goggins' book is, the kind of it's both then everything is mental, so that is actually seen in academy. And when you're doing something that you're about to reach a breaking point, it is just, sometimes that there is one person who ऐसे कंधे पे हाथ रख देगा, कोई नहीं भाई एक और दिन, who's your course mates. So your course mates are everything. Your is likewise, and they are breaking down, I am there for them. उसी मोमेंट को हंसी मजाक में बदल देना एक बहुत बड़ा कला होता है. So doing that easens up the situation, makes training much better and more fun. The toughest moment, I think, in during academy time was it's for camps only. Basically, camps is the toughest hurdle, physically and mentally both. At sometimes you are just like you don't know what is going on, you don't know where you are. You just, we are covered in mud and we are going through the forest and you don't know when you'll reach. You know that अब तुम पहुंचोगे, you're already late. वहां जाके भी डोज मिलने वाला है. But that moment when you think कि हाँ मैं वहां जाऊंगा और वहां पर और मेरे को physically रगड़ा मिलने वाला है, etc. or things like that. That is one way of thinking about it. Another way of thinking about it is that अरे मेरी बॉडी बन रही है मस्त, मैं देख पतला हो गया, आई एम गेटिंग सो स्ट्रांग, आई एम एबल टू कैरी सो मच वेट, अपना राइफल भी दे दे. It's like that, those small changes, just by telling yourself and telling your course mates, or when you're going through the forest and singing songs and going, that turns that completely switches the situation. Cracking jokes in between. There are people who have lived different experiences all come together in academy. There are a lot of things to talk about and a lot of ways to enjoy it. And main thing is that when you are alone with yourself and it's just about how much you can hold on, because that moment is going to pass and it will pass. वो दिन खत्म होगा, अगला दिन आएगा, and the next day is not going to be as bad as the previous day. It can be worse, but अच्छे भी दिन तो आने वाले हैं ना. That you have to always keep that in mind कि ये फोटो मेरे दिमाग में था कि ये फोटो मैं किसी दिन मैं पहनूंगा. ये अगर अभी एकेडमी छोड़ दिया है, अभी if I give up now, then I'll not be able to see this photo. That's all. I just wanted to see myself in uniform as an officer. I just kept that in my mind, and that's how निकल जाता है time.
So thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Good evening, sir. Govind this side. Sir, my question is like I've recently came from my SSB. That was my first SSB, and I was conference out. So I've noted down a couple of things that I find like these were the things I can improve. Like my communication was good, but my reading part was very weak. So I found difficulties in that. And same also I have to work more on my fitness. Sir, what other ways I can introspect so that I could improve myself for my upcoming attempts?
See, I mean, I am just a candidate who has cleared his SSB. I'm not an assessor, so I will not be the right person to answer this. But like you said, like I'm just giving you a way of how you can introspect on yourself. I'm not going to tell because I don't know you. I cannot tell that this is what you have to do. But now you said you went to an SSB, you came back, and 2 points. You got 2 points. बहुत बड़े होते हैं. एक point भी मिलना कभी-कभी मुश्किल हो जाता है. To get about yourself कि हाँ, this has to be improved in subsequent SSBs. You have to go for finer details later. So you already have 2 points. Just start working on them. Go give your next SSB. That is all.
Yes, sir. One thing also, sir, like I was good in my current affairs and all, but I'm also an engineering graduate from doing my BTech from ECN 7th semester. So my technical portion was weak, and the interviewers take that side of my interview to a like major extent, like 15-20 minutes he go to the technology of radar and all those things. So I found like he didn't went to my GK. So I found like technicality also I need to work more, sir, so that it would be a
exactly better. Basically whatever you are portraying, you should know about that. Simple. If I've written I have a craze of aquariums. If I open this door, there's a big aquarium back there. I have a big craze of aquarium fishes and all. That's my hobby. I have written that as my hobby. Now the interview, he asked me one question about it and I just went like crazy on that question. So he had to next question is better. So basically whatever you are writing, that is your kundali. So you should know every detail. I mean, उसमें से भी क्या question निकल सकते हैं, you should be ready for that also. So
Yes.
preparation in that aspect, one physical fitness, so it should be a lifestyle. It's not be कि अभी मैं पतला हो जाऊंगा बाद में मैं chill करूंगा. That is your lifestyle only. तो मैं ऐसे ही जीना है पूरी जिंदगी, फिर मतलब regular exercise and proper diet वगैरह. That too you have to do. There's no other option about it. As far as your WAT, you're telling you're not getting sentences. That is
Yes,
what you
sir.
meant. Basically, it's that your hands might not be working as fast as your brain is. So
Yes, sir.
practicing WAT is only for speed, is what I believe. The rest
It
all
was
the work.
mostly like, yes, sir. I found like it was mostly like I used to listen a lot, and due to which my oral communication is very good, but I used to read less. Like I tried to escape from that. That was reflected. I saw this as a weakness of mine.
Yes, exactly. So you have to basically doing WT alone gets a little boring. So you grab any one of your friend who's preparing for SSB. You know just don't assess yourself कि मैंने ये लिखा तूने ये लिखा तेरा अच्छा मेरा अच्छा है. If you're finding his sentence is like okay, that is something which is really nice or I really like this, you know, it's something I can relate to, तब लिखो उसको. But otherwise you have to practice your speed of writing, and handwriting also I believe is important, plays a big role. If you're able to write fast in less time, and in a legible handwriting, it's always seen positively. So you have to practice that.
Thank you, sir.
So moving on to the next, Pratibha.
Yes, sir. Parthiban, sir. Good evening, sir.
You will have to turn on your camera if you're speaking.
Sir, actually, I'm in our garden. Actually, there is no light source for some network issues. So,
Okay,
could
wait,
you
carry
give
on.
me? Okay, sir. Sir, I'm a mathematics student, bachelor degree, and also I'd been in NCC. There I got the motivation to become an officer, and also aspiration to become an officer. So thereafter, I practiced for my SSB. So far, I have given two SSBs, but I couldn't make it because some kind of uh, issues. Like I am little bit reserved, so social. I'm not socially adapted. Also, I'm from South Indian, so I don't know Hindi. So in my previous SSBs, I'm little bit nervous. Also, some kind of alienated. So I didn't do best at my best in my group discussion in the last time that I given in the recently in 9th December. In the group discussion, I couldn't talk like as much as I can because they are shouting. They just literally they made a fish market. So there is no time to convey my points. So what can I do, sir?
You're from Tamil Nadu, or
Yes, sir. Tamil Nadu, sir.
I can make out. I am also in South. I'm in Mysore right now. I'm also lived in South India my whole life. I mean that South Indian part you just remove. That cannot be a reason. And main thing is like for your communication, you are only mostly responsible, because if you want to improve on your communication skills, you have to start speaking that language. Like you probably might be speaking in your local language most of the time with your friends and all. So I mean, small changes, like look at yourself in the mirror and try narrating a story or whatever TAT story that you are looking. Look at yourself in the mirror and do it. You will feel a bit more confident. Try to speak more in English so that your fluency comes in, and watch more English movies so that your vocabulary builds. And as far as you're being timid or shy or whatever, nervousness, so I mean, what do you have to lose? You see that SSB. Like if you are nervous, you'll definitely not make it. That is fixed, right? You go attempt SSB in such a way that I have nothing to lose. I've just come here to see new people and make a new experience in my life. Go give SSB in that mindset, so you'll be much more confident.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Basically, don't give yourself hurdle, है ना कि हाँ ये नहीं होगा तो वो हो जाएगा. Still wrong, you know, you will definitely just work on your areas, know the procedure you will make. That's the reason we also have got batches. Do join. ठीक है, ऑलरेडी सब कुछ flooded
I
information.
have a corporate doubt here. I'd like to answer.
Go ahead.
Dhruval,
Please, sir.
tell me, what are you doing? Where are you working? Where are you? Tell me about yourself first.
Sir, actually, I am a final year mechanical engineering student, and I got placed in a company. I was just acting because it is going to come in a year. Like I am passing out in this April from my college, and I will be joining the company. So, sir, I am trying to get this in advance.
Okay, in advance, I mean, what kind of company is it? Can you name the company of which country
Sir,
does it
Aditya
belong?
Birla Group.
Come again?
Aditya Birla Group, sir.
Aditya Birla Group, Indian company. Indian companies will give leaves, don't worry. I also worked in Infosys. They are very happy that you are joining armed forces. They will smoothly offboard you if you get selected also. So don't worry about that.
Okay, sir.
You will lose a little bit of money if you take too many leaves, but ठीक है. Once you become an officer, it will come back.
सर मनी का कोई दिक्कत नहीं था सर, मेरे को ये था कि कोई मना ना कर दे, मतलब फिर वहाँ से कि काम पड़ा है तुम छुट्टी दे रहे.
Speak in English, continue in English, so we can,
So like
keep it fun.
money is not the problem, sir, during my job, but like they don't I think they will resist because of the workload and all. So like is this happening or it was my overthinking?
I mean, before even getting into the company, you already have thought so far ahead. First of all, don't look so far ahead. Take life as it comes. And once you join, फिर देखा जाएगा. It's not like they are going to kick you out just because you want to join armed forces. Na? Your personal aspirations are there on your own side. So don't worry about that right now. Focus on your preparation. These all things will come and go. Like once you will get the job, you will continue working for the job. When SSB comes, then you have to find your reasons to take leave. That it's up to you again what you want to tell them. With my company, it was an Indian. I worked in Infosys, so it was an Indian company only, and my team was very supportive of me. So I used to tell SSB only and go. I've been to SSB. I went to Bhopal SSB twice in 1 week. Like I took the flight, went to Bhopal, got screened out, came back, and the same weekend I took another flight to Bhopal, got screened out, and came back again. So my monthly salary की तो वाट लग गई, but ठीक है, it was understandable by them also. As long as you come back, that is the thing again ये भी एक story बन सकता है. Like let's say you are going for an interview. Now you've gone to interview, your workload here, is everything, all the workload is on your team. And your team is doing all the work, their extra work, and all your work is piling up there. When you come back from your interview, let's say you didn't make it or you made it, whatever. If you made it, तो कोई बात ही नहीं है, then you just resign. If you come back and if you've not made it, then you have to put in that extra effort to compensate for that loss that you have incurred. Simple. You have to work extras. You have to take, work from your colleagues that they had done for you when you were not there. So when they are not there, you will also do their work. Na? It goes that way. That is how companies run. That's it.
Yes, sir. I am ready for that, sir. But I just want that leave, sir.
You will get it. Don't worry. I cannot talk to your manager now.
Sir, I don't know my manager right now.
Yeah, I know. I'm enjoying it.
Don't worry. ठीक है, हम तो me being an HR also I approve leave. अच्छा SSB हाँ जाओ छुट्टी. कोई नहीं, मैं समझ देख लाता है. अपना होता है अपना जूनियर. चलो, we will have another doubt. Hi Diksha.
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have my first ever SSB attempt on 5th January 2025 as a direct entry of a NCC special entry. Many of my batchmates and many of my seniors have said that you shouldn't go direct entry as a fresher attempt because it won't be beneficial for you. But I'm still going. I just want to take your perspective. I just want to take your push or advice towards the direct entry that I'm going. I gave CDS and FCAT, but I couldn't clear it. But I just do not want to waste any attempt of my SSB. So I just wanted your opinion or advice or any push towards the direct entry.
Even my first entry was NCC entry only. So I'll only suggest don't waste any attempts. You never know. And one simple question is, what is your aim?
Sir, I want to join the armed forces.
तो बस एंट्री कौन सा मैटर करता है,
Okay,
just
sir.
go for it, simple.
I know, sir, there are a
Don't
lot of things. Yes, sir.
go ahead.
Okay, sir. Sir, I have heard a lot of reasons that seats are limited and number of people that report on that day are lot. But I just want to go and give my best, and if I make it, then great. If I don't, then I'll again give my another attempt and go ahead.
Yeah, and that is the mindset that you are supposed to give SSB with, because it doesn't matter about the crowd. It's like you are every person is different there.
Yes,
So
sir.
I mean, yes, a lot of crowd does make you feel a little weird कि इतने सारे लोग आ गए हैं, वो ठीक है. But you look at it as this way, that I'm getting to meet so many new different people, make a lot of friends in SSB. It really helps, and you will have a friend in every city. Every SSB center city, you will have one friend. You can go and stay at their place next attempt. That
Yes, sir.
also is another benefit. But yeah, I mean, just give SSB with the mindset ki I'm not going to miss any attempts. I'm going to give all my attempts. Every SSB is going to teach me something new that may help me for my next SSB. And the attempt that is meant for you, you will make it in that attempt. So that's
Okay,
it.
sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, it was great listening to you, and same Palab, sir. Thank you so much for the advices and the experience that you share. Thank you so much.
Adding on to your question also, यार, basically जो perspective होता है ना, in that case, why people say that you should go as a fresher in your written entries. Basically the crowd जो पहले पता है. Secondly, the level of the crowd who comes in written entries are little much more matured rather than in direct entries. अब देखो, in direct entries I was also fortunate enough, lot of great candidates came up from different background, different exposure. So that is their reasoning of saying कि as a fresher, you should go for written entries as compared to this thing. But it's nothing like that. People have made it back to back through written, direct, and whatnot. So just believe in yourself, give your attempt. Aditya has also given around 11. I have given around 15 SSBs. So long journey, just that keep it short, sweet, simple. एक आध में हो जाना चाहिए. That's
Yes,
what
sir.
I feel.
Thank you, sir.
Any other queries, questions? Candidates, कुछ पूछना चाह रहे हो, बताना चाह रहे हो, शेयर करना चाह रहे हो? Because it's been great session with Aditya, है ना, काफ़ी busy थे. Actually we thought of having session just after before joining academy last year. तो then he was at rush, यार पहले मैं बस कमीशन होके आता हूँ. ठीक है यार, कमीशन होके आओ आप. Even during term break also यार आजा भाई, बोले यार छुट्टी कम मिली है. Even I remember छुट्टी कम हो गई है. एक अर्ली कॉल था ना आपका शायद?
Yes.
Early call था. तो early call also happens, and nevertheless finally है ना, बोलते हैं ना, देर है मगर अंधेर नहीं. So finally he made it with lot of candidates, lot of doubts. So any other thing कुछ पूछना चाह रहे हो? Because Aditya will again be invited for a series.
I'll just quickly cover the chat box because some questions are there, like
Yes.
how to tackle if they ask why only Navy. So that is literally your answer. I mean, if you want Navy and if you're going for Navy attempt, if you only want to join armed forces, then you can simply say that I want to join the armed forces, sir, and I want to give all SSBs which are related to it. Why only Navy? And if you are Navy specific, then that answer will be better for you. Either maybe you have someone in the Navy who's in your family, etc. And about my schedule for preparing for SSB, it has never been constant. It always changes. For every preparation that I go, I find out something different about myself and I make my schedule in that manner. But I would say a basic schedule should be comprising of waking up a little early in the morning, doing your exercise, and then if you are a student, then your college covers your evening part, and then after evening part you study your whatever college ka padhai hai, that part, and then in the night, even if you give 1 hour for your general awareness, general knowledge, and your practice for SSB, that should be enough if you are doing it on a regular basis. That's it.
Please tell us about your schedule when you were preparing for SSB. Were you consistent while following it?
Yeah, I mean, I already answered that question.
It's already answered.
Yeah, the chat box is covered.
Even this resistance from company side, ये भी covered ही हो गया.
Yeah.
Right. So again, thank you so much, Aditya, on behalf of whole cult and family. We wish you all the very best for your upcoming service life, and I hope that you join us again for as a lieutenant now. अभी सब lieutenant phase हो गया, with some more experience, with some extra exposure. Still, if anyone has doubt, मैं देख रहा हूँ किसी का mic on हो रहा है, hand raise हो रहा है, तो जल्दी पूछ लो यार, because it's been quite a long time. कुछ है? शिवम, आरुष, any other thing? No other queries, I guess. Okay. So again, yeah, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this session. I mean, it was as a refresher, memories of all my SSBs accumulated into one, Dhamakedar capsule. It was a really good experience, and all the best to all of you. And thank you, Pallab. I will see you in Vizag.
Definitely.
And after my ship postings. So yeah, it was a really good session. Thank you so much for making a part of this.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Aditya. So for audience note, let me tell you, is Mr. Aditya recommended for NAIC, now commissioned as a lieutenant. So he might be your senior in your upcoming days in service in Navy, Army, Air Force. Might be, obviously. And Navy में जो जा रहे हैं NAIC में already इन्होंने बता दिया है क्या होगा, तो definitely. और again for all audience note, our batches are running on, sessions are being held morning, evening, daily, day in, day out. कल भी काफ़ी कुछ चीज़ें होगा, ठीक है, कल भी काफ़ी ओपन सेशन होने वाले हैं regarding structure analysis and GTO related things. If not, some other session will be scheduled, don't worry. Again we will have some more special guests on behalf of whole team. ये तो हमारे स्टूडेंट और टर्न्ड ऑफिसर हैं जो काफ़ी अच्छा करने वाले हैं, और भी आएंगे with much more great experience, great learning lessons, ups and downs in life. And the best part of all is you will find one common thing is all officers are humble, either serving or retired, because that creates the significant difference. Either you are preparing somewhere else or somewhere, आप कहीं यहाँ पे करो कहीं बाहर भी करो, because at the end of the day you have to understand your roots, है ना. आप हवा में उड़ के क्या ही कर लोगे, नीचे आ जाओ. You are also working for the nation. You are also, सब लोग अपने अपना contribute कर रहे हैं, ठीक है. So again wishing you all the very best, Aditya, and all the students who were there till the end. And let's make it, in your upcoming SSB, जिसके जो भी है. And feel free to reach out us at 6281745869 at my number. ठीक है, आप लोग को ऑलरेडी पता है. Join us at Telegram channel, Telegram group, YouTube, WhatsApp, Insta, Facebook, website and whatnot. Stay connected. Thank you, Aditya, again. Let's make it. Again, let's make it.
Thank you, everyone. Jain Shabno Varuna.
All right. यहाँ एक question आ रहा है. So क्या है? How to join the batches? ठीक है. Just a second. Right. Okay. जिनके doubts है, they can stay. ये बता देता हूँ. हाँ जी, बताइए मैडम.
हाँ जी सर, ये मैं बिल्कुल लास्ट में पूछ रही हूँ, बट आई हैव माय एसएसबी एट इलाहाबाद सेंटर एंड सम ऑफ माय फ्रेंड्स एंड सीनियर्स सेड दैट इट इज कंपल्सरी टू वेयर अ ब्लेजर, सो इज इट?
यार देखो, ठंडी है ना. इफ यू डोंट वेयर इट यू विल ओनली फील अनकंफर्टेबल. इट्स नॉट कंपल्सरी बट इट्स एडवाइजेबल बिकॉज यू आर गोइंग इन विंटर. विंटर में फॉर्मल मींस यू कैन वेयर ब्लेजर.
ओके सर.
सो दैट्स व्हाट. इवन मुझे भी जाना होगा विंटर में, तो आई वुड हैव ओन ब्लेजर. जनरली समर में टाई, नॉर्मल शर्ट, है ना, वो वाला होता है.
ओके, थैंक यू सर.
So how can you purchase, like जिसके डाउट थे. So for simple, है ना, आपको क्या करना है, मेरे नंबर पे मैसेज करना है. दिस इज माय नंबर 6281745869, और एल्स टेलीग्राम में @Pallab_cult में जाना है, मैसेज करना है. विच एवर प्रोग्राम यू वांट टू ज्वाइन यू कैन ज्वाइन. तबाही 2.0 के एनरोलमेंट ऑलरेडी ओपन है. बाकी बैचेस के भी एनरोलमेंट ओपन ही है. जस्ट दैट आप जब भी आते हो उसी दिन से चीज़ें स्टार्ट हो जाती है, ठीक है. सो आई होप इट्स क्लियर, ठीक है. मतलब बिकॉज अगेन अभी फ्रेश हम बैच स्टार्ट नहीं करें, जो भी चल रहा है उसी में ऐड कर देंगे, बट एट द सेम टाइम रिकॉर्डिंग मिल जाएगा, और इफ़ नीडेड आपको आगे का एक्सटेंशन भी दे दिया जाएगा, इफ़ नीडेड एज पर योर केस, ठीक है, एज पर योर कंडीशन ऑफ प्रिपरेशन, ठीक है. सो वी हैव गॉट स्क्रीनिंग, साइक ओनली, साइक प्लस, ठीक है, GTO ओनली, इंटरव्यू ओनली, ये सब सारे मतलब कैंडिडेट्स आते हैं. हाँ जी, वही बता रहे हैं. अब मेरे को DM करो, ठीक है. कुछ नहीं है, आपको बस पेमेंट करना है, पेमेंट का स्क्रीनशॉट भेजना है, एक फॉर्म भरना है, बस हो गया एनरोलमेंट, है ना. इतना ईजी है. दैट इज हाउ यू कैन परचेज माई प्रोग्राम, है ना. बेसिकली उसमें आई विल बी देयर, ठीक है. आयुष सर विल बी देयर हु इज एन एक्स OTA, आशीष सर एक्स NDA, आदित्य जैन एक्स NDA, देन सुधा कुमारी 4 times recommended, 3 times recommended, शिवानी मैम 4 times recommended. ये सब मल्टीपल यू विल फाइंड, ठीक है, और भी बहुत सारे एडमिन्स हैं, आदित्य गुप्ता ऑल इंडिया रैंक 7 NDA, ठीक है, तो बहुत सारे लोग पढ़ाते हैं, जस्ट दैट फील फ्री। अभी जो आप देख रहे हो इट्स जस्ट अ टीजर, बहुत कुछ बचा, ठीक है। चलिए, सो गुड नाइट, टेक केयर। कुछ और पूछना है देवांश या शैल वी क्लोज?
No, sir. Thank you, sir.